What is up, Gadsden Brigade? Peyton Johnson here with another daily installment of Enlightenment, where it is 1776 every damn day. Before we get into today's segment, if you could please smash that like button, comment down below, share this video, and subscribe to this channel. You guys, when are these athletes and sports networks going to learn? When you go woke, you go broke. As we saw with the NBA, baseball, and NFL, now it's gone and transitioned to the Olympics because they are at a 33-year low with TV ratings, and these people are just not catching the net, as Wayne Campbell would say. So I got an article here from the Daily Wire that reads, is anyone watching? Olympics TV viewers drop to a 33-year low. So that would be no one's watching except my stepmom. She loves the Olympics. It says, did anyone watch the opening ceremony of the Tokyo Olympians? No? Well, you weren't alone. Just 16.7 million Americans tuned into NBC's broadcast of the ceremony, the smallest U.S. television audience to watch the event in the past 33 years, according to the preliminary data from Comcast-owned NBC Universal. There used to be a website called Comcast Must Die, but I worked as a telemarketer, so we sold Comcast, and we actually had that's where the whole Xfinity thing came from because the marketing was so bad. So just a little random story about my life. But it says, in quote, Friday's audience reflects a steep drop despite difficult comparisons with previous opening ceremonies when viewers had fewer streaming options, Reuters reported. The Tokyo opener TV audience declined 37% from 2016 when 26.5 million people watched the Rio de Janeiro Games opener. I probably botched that. It says, and 59% for 2012 when 40.7 million people watched the London ceremony. Wow, that what a drop. That's almost, wow, it's like 25 million. Wow, that's a lot of people, guys. That's a huge chunk of the audience gone. I mean, over half the audience left, which is nuts. It says it was the lowest audience in the opening ceremony since 1988 Seoul Games, which attracted 22.7 million viewers, and even that had way more viewers. Like, that still had over 8 million more viewers. So let that sink in. It said it was also lower than the 1992 Barcelona Games, which had 21.6 million people who tuned in, according to Nelson data, Reuters wrote. And even though the stadium where the opening ceremony took place was built to hold tens of thousands of people, just 950 attended amid the COVID-19 sacred games. Yeah, I mean, I guess the Delta variant's outbreaking there, so they're doing what they feel is best. And unfortunately, you're not seeing stands in the fan, which that kind of sucks. You know, I'm a wrestling fan, so they've just started doing shows again and having packed stadiums. And wow, does it really add to the shows? And I can say the same with other sports too. That whole empty crowd feel. I'm obviously not an Olympian or I'm not a professional athlete, but I have to imagine having that crowd behind you really. It must feel different. It's gotta, and a giant empty stadium to nobody. It's just gotta hit different. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like enough athletes that came forward and said that's not the case. It says, but NBC Sports, that is the online audience that grew. So that's a little bit of a positive. It says the streaming audience on the NBCOlympians.com and NBC Sports app rose 72% over the opener from the 2016 games and 76% from the opening ceremony of the 2008 Pyeongchang Games, with approximately 17 million viewers on the opening ceremony, delivered a multi-dominant audience, a vastly different media landscape from 5 years ago, NBC said. It was the most unique opening ceremony ever designed to meet the moment of global unity. And it says, and the network noted that the ceremony was the second most watched standalone primetime entertainment telecast since the pandemic began in March, excluding post-Super Bowl coverage, The Hill reported. Well, that's because the NBA and the NFL and MLB did their damnedest to drive away half their audience, and actually more than half their audience. The NBA Finals last year was literally getting outperformed TV ratings-wise to Cleveland Browns games, just random Sunday night Cleveland Brown games. So I'm going to touch on why this is like a bigger story in a second, but let's finish through the article quick. It says, let's hope American viewers are turning in now as the U.S. swimmers team on Sunday reached their best ever start in the Olympics, winning medals in every event, blah, blah, blah. Basically, they won 6 medals, which is the most since 1984. That's not really relevant. It says, Daily Wire is okay. So why are the TV ratings so low? Well, I can tell you why they're so low, and you might disagree with me, you might not, but I'm just going to be honest and shoot from the hip. So here we go. The reason that the TV ratings are so low, and the same reason the TV ratings are low for NBA, NFL, MLB, is because they are doubling down on woke narratives and cultural Marxism narratives. And a lot of people who are sports fans or just casual Americans, they are tuning out because they do not want to hear it. Last year with the NBA was super prominent. You had Black Lives Matter written all the court. And for what people want to say, Black Lives Matter, the organization, is a Marxist organization ran by Marxists. You can say what you want to say. They came out, Patrice Cullors and the others, they said they're Marxists. They wrote on their website, demolishing the nuclear family is one of their core pillars. They had to take it off because it's so unpopular, because people are catching on to it. But you guys, all that money, where'd it go? Oh, she bought 4 mansions. Imagine that. But you guys, the biggest thing is it is not fixing any problems. They raised over $500 million. Where did it all go? Don't know. All that happened from those movements where they successfully destroyed small businesses and destroyed their own cities and then defunded the police departments, and now the aftermath is out of control. So when Americans see that and they tune into sports traditionally for escapism, especially now, you would think with COVID last year, especially, everyone's inside. No one can hang out like they usually can. Their favorite bars closed. They probably itching to watch a game, but no. They had to turn on the TV and get beaten over the head with woke politics and Megan Rapinoe demanding that you respect her when she literally was part of the bargaining agreement for why she gets paid as much as she gets paid in the first place. It really proves to you that these athletes, is it really about this grand scheme of helping people, or is it just to put their stamp on it? And what I mean by that is, what did Megan Rapinoe gain out of being a social justice warrior or being part of the woke culture or woke religion, as some people would say it? She got a Victoria's Secret endorsement, Subway endorsement. She got way more TV time for what? Taking a knee, being anti-American? Well, guess what? Joke's on you, because at the end of the day, people are not tuning into you playing soccer. And what's even more hilarious is that they lost opening round right away. So maybe if they spent a little less time caring about social justice and cultural Marxism and actually focusing on playing the damn game, people would follow in footstep behind them, but they don't. It's really hard for people to turn on a sports network and listen to sports media talking heads talk about how oppressed they are and how oppressed these athletes are, when these athletes like LeBron James are worth millions and millions of dollars. I think LeBron's a billionaire now, and LeBron's got a ton to say about oppression in America, but he's making billions off of the back of Uyghur Muslim slaves in China. So that's really telling. And why is that so telling? Because people aren't stupid. They're not stupid. When they sat there and they protested, I remember the Bucks last year. They didn't play a game because Jacob Blake got shot by police. Jacob Blake was a criminal. Jacob Blake was violating a restraining order of a woman that he sexually assaulted, and he got the police called on him for it. And then he resisted arrest, resisted the taser, and then he literally lunged for a knife. Why would somebody who's an average viewer at home want to endorse that? That's a criminal. It's a criminal. When they have these athletes like LeBron come out and they talk about somebody like Ma'Khia Bryant. Ma'Khia Bryant tried to murder somebody. She tried to murder someone. And these are what the athletes double down on. These are what the sports networks double down on. And guess what? It is not paid dividend. But what do they do? What do they do when adversity is on them? They're losing all of their audience. What do? They double down on it because they think they know better than you. They think they have power. They think that we are just some peasants and we are just some stupid bourgeoisie who doesn't know any better. And they're the ones really fighting truth to power while they're making billions of dollars off the backs of slaves in China, when they're the one exploiting slave labor, when they're the ones who refuse to bring their businesses to America and could literally fix poverty. Like, you could, if LeBron demanded that a factory, say he's got the leverage, right? Or someone like Megan Rapinoe or somebody of that high caliber echelon of sports. You think Nike would say no if LeBron or like Kevin Durant said, hey, I want all my products made in America. Anything with the crown on it or King James, I want that made in the USA. I want you to build a factory in Akron, Ohio, and I want you to employ 40,000 people. I want you to start their pay at $20 an hour. Do you think they would tell LeBron no? These athletes have the leverage. They could bring that business over here. They could help these communities, and that would be a really positive change. How I know this could happen is Kanye West did it. He did it with Yeezy. It's an American-made brand now. Why? Because he has the leverage. But no. LeBron wants that sweet money, and guess what? Not paying American workers and having Chinese slaves, Chinese Uyghur Muslim slaves make your shoes. Well, that's going to get you a little more dollar. And as far as Megan Rapinoe goes, she keeps talking about equal pay in soccer. There's something called it's called a collective bargaining agreement. Before the seasons, they got together and the U.S. women's soccer team said, hey, we believe this is fair. This is how we're going to do it. We're good to go. It's your own damn fault. Besides, they actually get paid more than the men do because they get insurance and all that kind of stuff included. Now, it's been increasingly hard for me to watch sports. I talked to my friend about this. He's still a big sports fan too, as am I. I'm so glad that there's places like Outkick Sports and there's places like Barstool or Sports Wars, but man, it gets hard to watch because now I heard before the NFL games, they're going to have the black national anthem before the national anthem. What are you going to do? The Mexican national anthem next? Then you're going to do the Italian national anthem. You're going to do the Jew national anthem. You guys, the national anthem is an all inclusive anthem for every citizen of the United States. That's the whole point. And there never should be an anthem before the national anthem because that's just sacrilegious in my opinion. But you guys, I want to hear what you think because honestly, I feel like not enough people are understanding this and maybe this isn't reaching enough people. The reason these people are tuning out of sports is because ultimately sports was a form of escapism that all these athletes and these sports networks took away because they wanted to feed their narcissistic egos and make it all about them while they play social justice warrior. Where are they helping these impoverished communities? Where's LeBron at? Where's Kevin Durant at? Where's Kyrie Irving at? You know, he wants to be looked at as this deep thinker. There's so much problem. Kyrie, go to inner cities. Donate that money. Come on. Now, what's stopping you? You know, Kanye? Not Kanye, sorry. Akon? He provided how many cities in Africa with electricity? And he makes substantially way less money than these people. They all walk the walk, but at the end of the day, they want to sit there and take these social justice stands and act like America's the worst place ever while they're becoming millionaires and billionaires in this country, exploiting other people's struggles. It's just people are too smart. They know that's phony. They know the whole thing's phony. And they know Black Lives Matter, and they know that Antifa, and they know all these Marxist organizations. Look at what happened with Rachel Nichols. She sits there and acts like she's all for diversity, and then she's like, well, don't take my spot. Well, come on. If you really believed in the whole, you know, that you're becoming the bourgeoisie and the proletariat is just being kept down, shouldn't you gladly give up your spot? Shouldn't Greg Popovich gladly give up his coaching job to a black coach because they're under, what's the word? They're underrepresented in the NBA as far as coaches go. Like, come on, Greg Popovich, you're the one calling out for this kind of culture. Why don't you put your fucking money where your mouth is? I'm just saying. But you know what else I'm just saying? I'm saying that I'm not watching the Olympics, and it's going to be really hard to watch the NFL this season. I do love football, but man, they're making it really, really hard. They're only making it harder, especially when they make more of a story about the Washington Redskins changing their name, even though 9 out of 10 Native Americans did not care about being called Redskin because Redskin wasn't even actually a derogatory term. It was actually made up by Native Americans to describe themselves compared to white skin or black skin. So get up on your history, folks. This was kind of a mellow episode. I'm going to come on with another one, but I want to hear what you guys think. Are sports becoming more hard for you guys to watch because of all this woke nonsense? Are you going to tune into the Olympics and watch, or are you just going to kind of say, nah, maybe just check it on your phone? I only really wanted to watch street skateboarding. That was the big draw for me this year, and unfortunately, Nigel Houston didn't bring home the gold, but I'm still happy because you know what? That dude was proud to represent our country and wear the colors, and no protesting. Dude was just proud. So you know what? Shout out to you, Nigel Houston. You're my favorite Olympic athlete this year. And with that said, guys, if you haven't already, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel. You've all been sexy. I'm PJ Straight Edge. You can follow me on all social media below. Enjoy the rest of your day. Later.